So
Here we go. Get ready for it.
before I say what I want to say, I'm going to step out for a second and remind people that on this day a year ago, the Cubs were 20-25 on the road at Philadelphia, in which they lost that series 2-3. So they ended that series 20-26. The Cubs are 26-22 now, a year later.
Yeah.
So, with some perspective, and I thought Corey and Brendan did really well with it, considering where the roster is at, considering the injuries. You didn't have Nico or Dansby all weekend. Hell, the last week.
All week, basically, yeah.
The last week you didn't have Nico or Dansby. I think you have to have some sort of perspective on where the team is at. Things could absolutely be a lot worse. They absolutely could be better, too, if you didn't blow some games. At the same time, you won some games you had no business winning, like Saturday, for example. You had no business winning on Saturday when you can't score off Bailey Falter. Are you kidding me, brother? Left-handed pitching, you're supposed to be a top 3 team in baseball offensively against left-handed pitching. Bailey Falter has one of the highest home runs per 9 or whatever it is in baseball, and you can't score off Bailey Falter? You had no business winning that game. You did not deserve to win that game, and you got through because the umpire called safe at home, and then they challenged it, and he was called, and it was confirmed or whatever. Because the guy dropped the ball. That's legitimately why they won the game. But you can't score off Bailey Falter. All right? Thank God they did. You had no business winning, but thank God you did. This is my frustration with the last week. All right? The bullpen has been awesome. The last week, the bullpen has been awesome.
It was Leiter and Nearest on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Ben Brown.
Ben Brown was great yesterday. Listen, the first game of the week against the Braves, you lost 2-0. You didn't score runs, right? Second game, Tyone wasn't good. You got blown out. Third game, you won 7-1. You salvaged a series against the Braves. Third game, Steele wasn't great. Coming back from the hamstring injury, you scored some runs, but Steele wasn't good enough, and that's essentially why you lost, on top of your bad defense, all right? Friday, the Kyle Hendricks saga continues. Really didn't matter if your offense scored that day or not. You gave up, they lost 9-3?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time trying to forget that game. Saturday, like I just said, you can't score off Bailey Falter. I'm sorry. He's not Paul Skeens, he's not Jared Jones, and he's not Mitch Keller. All right, you should have scored runs off Bailey Falter. You absolutely should have. I'm not trying to take anything away from him in the way that he performed, because I will give him this. It wasn't like the Cubs were hitting rockets off him like they did when they were in Pittsburgh and they were all into gloves. Legitimately, that's what happened in Pittsburgh when they faced Bailey Falter. On Saturday, they did nothing against him, just like weak fly balls, ground balls, and he's a fly ball pitcher. They hit multiple ground balls against this guy. The offense looked terrible on Saturday. And then yesterday, Mitch Keller, I thought Mitch Keller was an all-star for them last year. He's good. I thought that they were able to at least work some decent at-bats against him, but he's good. But at the end of the day, though, when you can't get any consistency at all, if you aren't getting guys on base to put guys in position to score runs, you aren't going to score runs. But again, my frustration is the fact that the bullpen was actually good this week. The bullpen was great yesterday. The bullpen was good on Saturday. If Nearest and Leiter don't do what they do on Saturday, they probably lose that game because they won 1-0. Okay,
exactly. It was all pitching staff.
So that's when people I think a lot of fans right now are very upset and not really looking at it from the perspective of how I started this, because the offense is giving everyone PTSD from what September looked like last year. That is what the offense this last week has looked like. Honestly, this offense has kind of looked like that for the last month, honestly. Ever since they got back from the West Coast road trip, Michael Busch has really cooled down. He's going through the ups and downs of being a rookie. I'm trying to have some patience with him because that's what you have to do with rookies. Obviously, Swanson, when he was healthy, wasn't hitting. Ian Happ is off to a terrible start. He has not been good. We're sitting here we're going to talk about Brennan Davis at some point. The guy had a hot week. Hell, a week before that, we were thinking this guy could be trade bait, if at best. And now we're like, call him up. I'm excited about Luis Vasquez. Are you kidding me, brother? Like, there's so many things about the team right now that frustrates me. And it all pinpoints back to everything that I said at the beginning of the season that I was most worried about, and that is the offense. They never went and got another bat. And I don't want to look back on what you did and didn't do in the offseason, all these things. But I did say on opening day or the day before opening day, whatever it was, I said, if this team doesn't make the playoffs, then I'm going to be calling for names. And this is on Jed Hoyer for doing exactly what Luke said. Put together a mid-offense. They have a 100 weighted runs created plus as a team. On May 20th, they are a league average offense. Did they outperform their offensive expectations the first 2-3 weeks of the season? Probably. They probably did. And their pitching has been a lot better, as I thought it would be. All right? But the offense has always been the biggest question for me on this team. Should it be better? Yes. Of course, you can't play Miles Mastrobuoni and Nick Madrigal every single day if you plan on having a good offense. So in some aspects, again, when you take a step back and look at what you're putting out there, yes, the offense will probably be better than what we've seen this last week. That said, you also could have put Morel over at second base and put Bush at third, or put Bush at second because he had more career games at second base before coming to the Cubs, and putting Bellinger at first base and putting Tauchman in center. Or PCA, you had options. You did not have to play Nick Madrigal and Miles Mastrobuoni every single day the last week. And then also, Nico Horner, why in that? I swear to God, if Nico Horner is going on the injured list tomorrow or whenever they announce it, I'm going to be very angry. The fact that you played one man down. This is the major league team, bro. You played one man down, and every single day you're like, oh, he's feeling good. He's feeling good. We think he can play tomorrow. Bro, it's been a week. It's been a week.
Bro, what birthday better? Was this? Did you
I don't feel any better.
Was it 33 or 34 this weekend?
33.
One thing that I have learned is that even at 33, Cody still has fire.
Still got fire.
Fire in the belly.
You can, with the usage of the injured list and injuries and stuff, you can date this shit back all the way to when Chris Bryant first hurt his shoulder in 2018, bro. You can date it all the way back to the way they handled that, all the times that he played through those injuries whenever he clearly wasn't okay. All right? They mismanaged Dansby Swanson in however way you want to put it, right? And then they finally put him on the injured list. And now they're doing the opposite with Nico Horner and sitting him, but not putting him on the injured list, and you're playing a man down. Make it make sense to me. None of it makes sense to me. That's the thing, is none of it will make sense to me. You could have called up Luis Vasquez. You have the second best farm system in baseball. Use it. If you're not going to spend money, use your farm system, bro. God, none of it makes sense to me, man. None of it makes sense.
Cody brought the rain. It is raining really hard now.
Well, now he rode his bike, too. When it rains, it pours for Cody. He rode his bike, and it's a monsoon outside at the moment.
Please remember what I said at the beginning about perspective, all right? The team is significantly better right now than it was at this exact time a year ago, all right? But at the same time, I have frustrations. I'm significantly annoyed with the roster management over the last week when you could have just put Nico Horner on the injured list and called up Luis Vasquez to at least come up and play competent defense, something the Cubs middle infield hasn't done the last week, or at least over the weekend. All right.
We all silly like the mayor.